Hey, and welcome back to Kyle's Finance News. Last month I did a video on my channel's progress at the 1 month mark, and I have just hit the 2 month mark. So I thought it's probably time to do another monthly update and just review and reflect on performance over the last month and see if there's something that I could be doing better, or if one change or another has made a significant impact to my channel. And then also, if anybody out there is considering starting their own YouTube channel, then this can provide some information and maybe some guidance to them. And I'm entirely new to YouTube, so this is all kind of learn as I go, fly-by-wire type stuff for me. So maybe there's something to learn from any of my mistakes as well. So let's just jump right into it. My dashboard doesn't have really too much for me to see here. I can see I'm up to 31 subscribers. I can see my most recent video and some of the performance on that. But the real good stuff is in the analytics tab here. So let's take a look at that. So I currently have it set to the last 28 days, going back to June 24th, which I believe is the exact day that I released this 1 month update last time. And wow, some major changes in statistics, which is great to see. I try to not live by the stats too much, but I am a numbers guy, so I certainly do like to see green arrows going up and numbers changing upwards as well. So like I said, I'm up to 31 subscribers as it is. So thank you so much for subscribing and watching my content. I hope I've been providing good news updates and relevant market information that is of value to my viewers, and I will continue to do so. So thank you so much for subscribing. Really keeps me going, keeps me motivated. I can see how many views I have had in the last 48 hours, which is just astronomical compared to how it was last month. I want to say last month in a 48-hour period, I was maybe averaging 15, 20, 25 views. So the last few videos have really taken off, and we can see going back about a week and a half or so, 70, 76, 150s, 160s, and in the last day or two, my videos from last Thursday and Friday have really been performing well also. So my views are 83% higher than the last 28-day period. My watch time is up over 180%. And my subscribers, I went from 10 subscribers to 30 subscribers in a matter of just 28 days. And then I even had two more subscribers, I think, today. So yeah, that's awesome. Just fantastic. My content, let's see this tab here. It shows me, this video particularly, it shows me some of the view retention rate data. It doesn't give me typical retention yet. So as I just kind of continue to produce videos, then it'll be able to give me more and more data. I can see how viewers are finding my videos largely through browsing features. I can see my top videos, but what I want to see, let's see, we can see impressions. The click-through rate is important to me. You know, for a while there, it was standing at 1% or less than 1%. And I believe what that's telling me is that people are seeing my thumbnail and seeing my video title and then deciding, nah, I don't want to watch that. So only 1% of people were actually clicking through to view the video. And recently that's going up beyond the 3%, 4%, upwards of approaching 5%. So that has been great to see as well. And I will speak more on that here very shortly. My view duration, I'm not too terribly concerned about. I think as long as people just get the content that they're coming for. And so I've been sure to start adding the time frames within a video. So if somebody wants to pop open the description and look at them, or when they're looking along the timeline of the video itself, if they're only coming for a certain little piece of content that they're interested in, then that way they can just jump right to that, watch that little bit, and be on their way to some other content that they want to watch. That's totally fine. I'm not quite concerned with somebody feeling like they need to watch and consume the entire video, because obviously there is going to be some content in there that's not quite relevant for everybody. I put a little bit of stock related info. Sometimes I have some earnings related info, and then as well I'll often talk about the Federal Reserve and maybe mortgage rates or economic data or crypto, right? So there's going to be something that not everybody is not, what am I trying to say here? I suppose there's going to be content that is not quite suited for everybody all the time. It's going to be kind of piecemeal, different little content together, and that's just me just reporting on stuff that I find interesting. That's not me trying to intentionally report on different things that I think are going to be most important to my viewers. That's just me just reporting on stuff that I find interesting. So that's what ends up in my videos. So view duration is nice to see in the 2-minute mark or so, but really not terribly concerned with it being super high. And that's of course totally dependent on how long of videos I produce as well. Sometimes there's only content for 3 or 4 minute videos. Sometimes there's content to make a 10, 12, 15 minute video. That's just the nature of each given day and what is going on. Seemingly lately there is a lot more going on than in the past, but we will just have to take that as it is. The impressions is cool to see, so more people are seeing my thumbnails, I believe, and at least having the option to click on them or not. So then I can also see my audience, and I do have some more data here than I have had previously, or at least when I was first starting off, which is good. So I can see my subscribed versus non-subscribed, which I think is relatively normal. Having 1 in 10 or 2 in 10 people that watch your content actually subscribed, I think that's entirely normal. It seems to be pretty common amongst a variety of different content creators, so I don't think that's necessarily directed towards finance or investing channels or whatnot. I think just the vast majority of people don't. I find even myself a little bit, I tend to not subscribe to a creator until maybe I've watched their content 3 or 4 times and decided for myself, yeah, I would like to actually see more from this creator, versus that first video I think is not too likely for me to subscribe unless it really blows me out of the park. So so the subscribed percentage, I think even being above 10% is great. I'm happy with it. Obviously my kind of geographies and where my viewers are located is going to be the United States. I'm largely reporting, almost entirely actually, on United States economic data, and maybe occasionally I might touch on Australian or Canadian or United Kingdom economic data, because that can sometimes play a role in US markets. So it's not quite, especially with the United States dollar as an example. So I might occasionally touch on those other countries and their economies as well. Age and gender is entirely male at the moment. Doesn't entirely surprise me either. I don't quite know how I could intentionally gain some audience of other genders. I suppose that's just the way it is. I don't think I'm trying to intentionally target any one gender over the other. Same with age range. I'm certainly not trying to target any one age range over another. We see some of my viewers are in some of the older generations, and I'm not explicitly producing content related to retirement or Social Security or how to maximize your tax deductions for later years. I'm just reporting everyday financial news, and sometimes I do want to get more into making some longer form content about say savings accounts, which I've done a little bit, but also I would like to make some longer form content about best credit cards you could be using, or ways to grow your credit score perhaps, or competitive checking accounts, or who knows. I just want to do a little bit more long form content where I can talk a little bit more and have some research behind it to back it up, to just provide value to my viewers aside from the just the daily cut and dry news reports, I suppose. Yeah. So eventually I should be doing some more of that. It's a little difficult to just find time to wedge all that in there. The YouTube content creation as it is takes up a solid hour and a half to sometimes 3 hours of my day, and along with my full-time job and everything else that I got going on. So making long form content so far tends to fall on weekends, and if it's nice and sunny outside, I'm certainly going to be less likely to want to be indoors making long form YouTube content. I want to be outdoors doing that type of, any other type of thing really outside. So I might at one point, I have been kind of mulling over, do I want to be Kyle's Finance News, or do I want to be some sort of like Kyle's Finance channel? Maybe not so much news oriented, but just, obviously I want to stay finance oriented, but maybe not so much like day-to-day news breaking stuff. Maybe at some point in the future I change to like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type news reporting, and then that would give me time on Tuesdays and Thursdays to build up maybe enough content and research to produce a video, say on like Saturday, to do some longer form type stuff. So I have been thinking about that, and then along with it, maybe potentially renaming my channel to not be Kyle's Finance News, maybe being Kyle's Finance, or who knows? I don't know. I do like having my name in it, so that part has been nice, and I like having a face to it as well. I think it creates a good kind of connecting method between me and my viewers, right? Like I'm trying to be authentic about my opinion about stocks and markets. I'm not trying, not that people who, anyways, maybe a topic for another. Yeah, so seeing the subscribers grow is awesome. Seeing my watch time grow is awesome. And just being able to access more and more data on who is watching my videos and what type of content that they might otherwise be interested in, which I think is largely finance stuff. So going over to the content tab here, though, briefly, I did want to talk about a major change that I've started working on is my thumbnails. And so I have been using Canva largely this entire time. Aside from in the very beginning, I was not. And so very quickly I decided to get on board with Canva, and it has made my thumbnail game night and day different. I can pretty quickly, within about 10 or 15 minutes, throw together a thumbnail that I think will at least be a little bit catchy to a viewer. I honestly am trying to not make it too clickbaity. I am very against the clickbaity type stuff. I don't like doing that, and so I try to not do that. But sometimes, especially with like the Cybertruck one and the Tesla Robotaxi and the Redbox one, I was just having so much fun making those. I couldn't help myself. So yeah, the thumbnail game I think has helped significantly. And then at the moment I am using another service called vidIQ, VIDIQ, and it's supposed to be this like AI driven algorithmic type service that analyzes my content, my thumbnails and my titles and my description and so on, and it tries to give me a little bit of a competitive edge against everybody else in that it just kind of gives me suggestions and tips along the way on either content I could be producing, which I'm not quite a fan of, but just it was educational in that my thumbnail needs to include some information, less than 3 words, between 1 and 3 words, but some information of what my video might be alluding to, or at least like what content might be included in my video. And then also my title needs to be below 60 characters, whether it needs to be like all caps or not. It needs to intrigue a viewer and pique somebody's interest either through curiosity or through like personal benefit, like how could, if I make a video that says like how the savings account could make you more money, right? It sparks that personal interest of, well, I want to make more money off my savings, and how can I do that? So it kind of raises a question to the viewer, and then throughout the video, I should be providing the answer for it. So I may not continue using that service just because I feel like the little bit of value that was there was just in the education of what a thumbnail should have in it and what a title should have in it, and so, as well as a description. So I feel like I gathered that pretty quickly, and may not need to keep using that service. Now Canva, though, like I said, has been fantastic, and I will certainly continue to be using their platform to make my thumbnails. Yeah, so some of my recent videos have done super well on the views, not getting so much engagement though, not getting so many likes. And if you have liked this video, please consider liking the video. And if you don't like this video, then you're welcome to downvote. A couple of my videos have gotten downvotes over time, and that's okay too. I certainly do like seeing the likes and comments. I have been replying to almost every comment, I believe, and that has also, there's a few viewers in there commenting to me on my videos that are starting to give me ideas for the future, and which is what I'm here for, to be both providing information to viewers and then also learning from them and getting tips and suggestions from y'all, and then maybe even I can run with that and create content to bring back to you later on. So we can go full circle here, and I really appreciate that part. So thank you so much if you have been commenting. That has been fantastic as well. I think that just about wraps up my 1 month review here, and I am super eager to post another 1 month review here on August 22nd, 23rd or so. So yeah, super excited to keep at it for another month, and I still have to do a market news update for today. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you have enjoyed this content and would like to see more of it. And I will catch you all in the next one.